But we're going to start with Arsenal and Manchester United. Jules, it's the clash which I think defined the 2000s for many people. And Arsenal come out on top. I'm going to go right out and say this. We made the point, hey, Ole, go with a diamond. Try to put some more of your better players on the pitch. It can work. And it did work against Leipzig. Yeah. And we all waxed lyrical, and against PSG. And then they play Arteta, and Arteta takes that diamond and says, yeah, this is a cubic zirconia. Let me go and crush it. Okay, I don't want to go too far into this, but if you can have a great setup, but if you don't execute it properly, and if the other guy is smarter than you and wipes the floor with you tactically, as happened on Sunday, there's not much you can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, you can always change something
I know,
through the game, and they didn't, or Solskjaer didn't.
But it doesn't mean the diamond is the wrong idea. No. His execution of it is bad.
And I'm not even sure there was ever a diamond in that team. And it looks to me, and I was at the ground, and I was really close to the pitch, and I can see so well that there was not much structure to the United team. I don't know exactly what the game plan was. I don't know what the idea was.
Tell us about this, because you were there. I was only watching on TV. Bruno Fernandes looked to be playing further up the pitch behind Greenwood and Rashford, fine. And then what was up with the other three guys? Pogba was in some sort of center left?
Yeah, I mean, it really looked at times that he was a 4-2-3-1 with McTominay and Fred sitting, and then Pogba left.
And nobody right.
And then Greenwood sometimes right. Even he was drifting a bit. There was a bit of fluidity first, which I thought, okay, let's give it a go. Maybe, Solskjaer said to the players, let's move a lot, let's do this, because Arsenal are so structured and they're so well organised that maybe to trouble them, you need a lot of movement and players being hard to pick and hard to mark. But he didn't resemble anything. There was just nothing at United that I can tell you, okay, that's interesting what they're doing there. No, you know what United's plan was from where I was? It was like when you're at school and you play on the school playgrounds at break time, and you pick two teams, and then your tactic is like, okay, let's give the ball to our best player, and then let's see what you can do. That was exactly how United were playing. That's exactly what they were, like kids at school, saying like, okay, let's give the ball to Bruno Fernandes, and then see what happens. Let's give the ball to Marcus Rashford, and see what happens. There was just nothing else.
On television, it looked messy. I certainly got the impression that a lot of this had to do with the fact that I thought Arsenal pressed very, very effectively.
Yeah.
Elneny and Thomas Partey, super effective in that role. They pressed at the right time. They pressed in the right areas. They got plenty of help. Bellerin and Saka a lot of times coming inside to help out. They were hugely disruptive.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that is ultimately what United couldn't deal with, because, we always talk about playing through the press, progressing the ball. I just felt like they couldn't get out, except with that ball over the top, which, by the way, I think with a bit more luck, that ball over the top is always going to be effective if you have Rashford and Greenwood up there.
Yeah, and in the first half, it was very clear that Elneny was on Bruno Fernandes and Partey was on Pogba. That was it. Almost man marking as soon as United had the ball, okay? We all saw it. Why don't you say, okay, this is not working because Partey and Elneny, as you said, are really good on our two best players. Let's do something different. But nothing never happened. There was just nothing. And Pogba said after the game, he said they blocked us and we could not find solutions. We should have done more to find. Well,
now you spoke to Pogba individually after the game, right?
Yeah.
And that was basically his sense. Was it more about praising Arsenal, or maybe lamenting, in addition to his own big mistake, which we'll get to in a minute, lamenting the fact that
he said we should have found solutions. We clearly could see the problem because they were blocking us well and they were well organised. And then we didn't do enough. We could not find any solutions. We couldn't find the answers to the problem that we had in front of us. And it's just not good enough. He said it's not good enough for me, personally, he said, from the whole team. You can't have 4 games at Old Trafford and not winning one, being 15th in the table. This is embarrassing. They've got 7 points after 7 games. David Moyes had 7 points after 7 games.
Right,
he didn't finish the 13th, 14th. No, but it's true. At some point, it's true.
I think the difference is that, Pogba will be blamed for everything, and obviously the penalty entirely his fault. Bellerin clearly not going anywhere.
Where do you stand on Pogba saying that he had been running so much defensively that he was a bit out of breath, and people saying that it's a rubbish excuse?
You know what? I think people who say that are complete idiots. I want a player to explain to me when he makes a mistake, when he has a chance to reflect on it, what went wrong. He's not making an excuse. He's making an explanation.
Yeah.
He knows full well that the fact that he was running around, he said, maybe I was a little bit out of breath, whatever, I mistimed it. I welcome that.
I agree.
And we in the media have a responsibility not to go and crucify players for telling us how they screwed up. They're, oh, you're making excuses. You're oh, poor baby. Oh, Brian Robson would have never said that. Well, you know what? I don't care. Brian Robson played, who's one of my all-time favorites, Captain Marvel. He played in a different era.
Yeah.
I want players. And you know what? They're not going to give you explanation. They're just going to hide behind cliches and say nothing like so many players do. But just to wrap this, this is a win for Arsenal, I think, more than it was a defeat for United. I've been critical at times of Arteta, as you know. I don't like their long-term squad building and whatever else. But on the day, Arteta showed that he can be a tremendous manager, not just when it comes to creating chances and whatever, and we view him as like, oh, beautiful football, city, but also at completely neutralizing and being pretty ruthless.
Yeah, I agree. It's his win. First win at Old Trafford in 14 years. First win against the away top six for 5 years, 29 games or something. But they were so well structured. He guided them so well on the pitch. He never stopped shouting, never stopped talking, encouraging, replacing. I thought he was brilliant. And it might not work even every game, as we saw against Leicester, for example. He would have to find other solutions. But on the day yesterday, Sunday, it worked.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.